There is a substantial risk of loss associated with trading forex, binary options, stocks, or equities, collectively, asset classes. Only risk capital should be used for trading. Trading in any asset classes is not appropriate for everyone. Past performance is not necessarily indicative of future results. No representation is being made that investors will make profits, or will not sustain losses. Before trading in any asset classes, investors should consult with their professional broker, financial advisor, or financial consultant to determine whether trading asset classes is appropriate. Investors who trade in any asset classes should only do so if the capital used for this purpose represents funds that an investor can afford to lose without adversely impacting the investor's lifestyle. No trading strategy or methodology is without risk of loss. No trading strategy is risk-free, and no trading strategy can guarantee profits or freedom from losses. Investors risk losing the cost to execute any transaction, including associated commissions or fees. You should carefully consider whether trading in any asset class is appropriate for you in light of your investment experience and financial resources. Any trading decisions you make are solely your responsibility and at your own risk. None of the statements or materials in the Auvoria Prime chat rooms constitute a solicitation or recommendation to buy or sell.
First things first, taking a look at, our one pair data as always. Nothing new or too crazy. All these currency pairs are still performing, making little bits of profit here and there, doing their thing. Like I said, nothing too exciting going on with them. But I know we did talk about a few pairs on here that people are in some drawdown on. I know I'm in some drawdown myself on one of my my larger accounts. And we're going to talk about those specific pairs today, and maybe even pull up some TradingView and take a look at some charts. So with that being said, give me a second here. I'm going to go ahead and pull up a VPS. Taking a look here at my 10K account, we've had a few stop losses this last month. We railed through a bunch of USD CAD stop losses. We even railed a GBP AUD stop loss at one point. And now we just railed a CHF JPY stop loss. So it's definitely been trending market conditions the last few months, especially in a few of these pairs. We've hit a few more stop losses than normal since we started this account. There were a total of, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 13 times in the last year, a little over a year, since August of last year, we've railed stop losses. So is it safe to say it's possible to hit a stop loss every now and then? Absolutely. In this case, I'm in some drawdown, about 20% drawdown, never ideal. But again, it's the same setups for me as well, between CHF JPY, right? Which it seems this is a level 6, so we should be deploying level 7 pretty soon. Euro CAD as well. I can see that I'm also in 4 here. I would have been in 5 on CHF JPY, but we were able to stop. And USD Swiss franc, I'm even in 3. So the point in showing this is to show, yeah, this happens. These things happen. Now let's take a look at the charts, right? Let's go actually take a look here and go to TradingView. So let me figure out getting back to Safari here. There we are. All right. And let's go take a peek at TradingView. I'm going to stop sharing for a minute. Yeah, Harris Seldon, that stuff happens. If we want to take a look at some MyFX books, I mean, this is stuff that does happen. I'll give you an example on this account. If we were to go back and look, there was a month in January we made no profit. There was a month in February we lost 7%. I mean, this stuff definitely happens. Here was a month we were down 0.92% and we were in drawdown. This account had a 38% drawdown at one point, this 1,500 euro account. It was running a few more pairs than it should have been at the same time. But the point in showing these things is to show, yeah, it's a part of the game. You're going to experience some drawdown every once in a while when a move trends against you. But even a $250 account made it through a whole year running one max pair and, you know, did its thing. And again, there's times where the drawdown definitely can happen and things trend against you, which is why we're going to take a look over to tradingview.com. And let's just pull up some of the charts, right? You know, and show you guys firsthand what I look at. It doesn't really matter which one of these we choose. Launch chart. All right. And for me, let's even take this thing out on a weekly scale. All right. And then let's go ahead and look right here. Right? We're up here. And what's our price? We're looking at 124. Okay. So where we are in time right now on this chart, we're not even getting, there we go. Loading the data. When was the last time we were this high? And remember, each one of these candles represents 1 week. These are weekly candles we're looking at right now. So if you don't understand charts, what I did is I set a blue line up in the past where we were. And it seems TradingView does not want to, with FXCM, let me pull any more data farther than that. So we can just go look at it at MetaTrader. MetaTrader tends to also do us the trick. So let's take a look. Let's use MetaTrader. Depending on your broker, some have more data than others. That's CHF. Nope. EuroCAD. All right. So this is EuroCAD. We also had CHF-JPY. So we'll also take a look at CHF-JPY right here. And I know some people mentioned Euro-NZD. And we'll go ahead. I don't have Euro-NZD open on this this GearBox. Oops. But what we'll do is we'll go ahead and add Euro-NZD just so I can pull the chart up for you guys. Euro-NZD. All right. And first, all right, let's take a look at Euro-NZD. Euro-NZD had a spike back down to here, and a lot of people were in drawdown. And it spiked back up, and people got out of that drawdown. You just saw another trending move down. And again, we're looking at the hour time frame right now. Now we take a look back at Euro-NZD and the weekly. Yeah, we can see that Euro-NZD has definitely been lower than this in the past. Now, what you need to look at as you look deeper on Euro-NZD, remember, Euro-NZD is a very volatile pair. Most of the time, it's very profitable, but it does do these trending 700 pip moves every once in a while. And you got to be prepared for that. That's why we run conservatively enough that you should not have a very bad day ever if something does trend against you, if you do hit a stop loss. But looking at history, I see this to be major support. All right. And why I say that is if you go back through time, and we're looking back all the way to 2004 here, just so you guys know. All right. So you're looking at this chart back to 2004. So right now we have 17 years of Euro-NZD in front of us. And that may not make as much sense to some of you if you're new to trading, but if you understand trading, we're going all the way back right now, over 16 years. And what I see right here is a major support zone. This is a zone that has been met many times, and there's only been a few times that it fell through these points. And I don't think that point's going to happen today. Now, again, I'm no expert trader, but then you'd have to look at the next level of support after that, which there's another one right around here. So the point in showing, again, all of this is to show that I wouldn't be worried if you're in Euro-NZD, number one. Now, if we go take a look at EuroCAD as well, just did some more stuff. We're looking at the hour time frame here. We're going back, but looking at this, okay, did it fall off a cliff? Were people in drawdown? Did some people get out of that drawdown? I didn't get out of the drawdown. I got to get up here to get out of the drawdown myself on GearBox since I entered all the way back here in the beginning of October, right? So I took this trade only in the beginning of October. The other point in telling you this is a trade I only took 3 weeks ago. All right. I have been in swing trades on GearBox before for up to 3 months. Is that motivational to you right now? If you're hoping to just see results and make money? Absolutely not. But if you are a trader and you understand how the software works, it is a large swing trader. It's looking to catch larger moves, and not every time it's right, which is why it has proper recovery techniques built in, just like how it's trading EuroCAD right now. We don't need to get back to where we initially entered. Get back here. And you might be asking, where do we even need to get to break even, right? Where do we need to get to break even? Here we go. Let's go ahead and attach this wonderful tool to the chart. And here's where I got to get to break even. My break even line. So my TP's here, but technically this trade was almost at break even already. You can see right there, we were almost at break even and we fell back off a cliff. So to me, I'm not really worried. We're in a low area now. If we take this back to a weekly, okay, yeah, again, things have fallen through the cliff many, many a times. But again, I don't think that we are going to be experiencing many of those things today. And this is also why we have stop losses in place in events like a black swan event. And again, I don't think this actually happened. I think this is more just bad data from the liquidity on Lucror. But you can see there's definitely times where things have gone lower. But right now, again, we're looking at another major area. These lines are running straight through. Same with the next areas of support. The next areas of major support, if we were to break through the zone, is going to be where your stop losses start to hit. What do we have deployed here in EuroCAD? We have a level 6 already. So we can deploy one more level, probably somewhere around here. And we probably have another stop somewhere down here under the support and the resistance to where if something fell through the floor, all right, it's going to take the loss as well, but it's going to get you out of all the trades. You're not going to keep cost averaging either, because if you haven't changed your settings for EuroCAD, your max gears should be set at 8, which means that level 7 is 8 because 0 is 1. So we're getting into some deeper learning today. Might sound like Chinese for some of you, but those of you understanding. And last but not least, let's take a look at CHFJPY. We go back on a weekly, and again, this never happened, by the way. This was just bad liquidity data on Lucror's end somewhere back in 2013 pulling this data. But even if we go up to around here, right? Flash events. And this, we know what caused this. A lot of it. There's a lot of things that happened in 2014 and 15 with the Swiss franc. Now, let's take a look back. Right now, we are at a major high that we haven't touched since 2015. All right. So you see this? We have not been this high since 2015. So you got to ask yourself, is there anything in these economics of these two countries that could produce something like that? Now, here's what I can tell you about CHF pairs. CHF is right now a very cash-rich country. The country itself is richer than some of the world's most wealthy sovereign wealth funds, as you should say. And yeah, they're a very rich country right now, and that is alarming to some people because of what happened in 2015. So, you know, obviously avoiding CHF pairs, which we were for some time, is always advisable. But at the same time, I don't think that day is going to be today. Now, I'm no expert. GearBox is simply programmed with an algorithm to consistently catch moves in the market. And time again, it is correct. Can you face a drawdown like this every once in a while? Absolutely. Is it enjoyable? Never. But when it swings, it's enjoyable. And I'm going to give you guys some more visuals of that. I don't know where you guys went, though. Oh, you're over here. Trading view. Alrighty. let me read the comments because I have not been in the comments in a little. Let's see what we got going on here. Pip stars, submit a support ticket, and the tech team will take a look at what you got going on there. Because we don't actually calculate a break even, so we wouldn't be able to move your TPs to break even. So the break even thing I just showed is a different tool. It's not a part of GearBox at all. That is just to show you where it would be. What pairs are now not recommended anymore? Definitely EuroCAD. And I would say, I mean, Euro NCD does great, but it's also volatile. What you got to look at is you want to be able to catch the pairs that GearBox is going to perform best on. Don't have large trending moves too often. They have large enough moves to get entries, but they constantly move. The other thing to look at if you understand trading is that GearBox doesn't really like consolidation. If you're trading pairs that just get in a lot of consolidation, which unfortunately is a part of swing trading, things will happen such as this, where you get into a drawdown in April and you get out in July, right? April 27th. So that means all of May and all of June, these trades were in drawdown, but they weren't even in that much drawdown. You see this? For a period, they weren't even in much drawdown, and then it all swung right here, July 6th. And then what do you know? We got into brand new trades, and we've been in drawdown since. Since July, I've been in drawdown. Was there a time where it almost got all the way out, and then we got into a new trade that trended? Absolutely. So that stuff happens. Now there's definitely other periods where drawdown doesn't last quite as long. But even here, this is 1 week, a little more, maybe week and a half, and we made a few percent. So when you just take a look at studying some of the FX books and strategies, another one, was a really aggressive one. It's not running currently. I need to actually turn it back on. But we were running 6 pairs trading at once, and one day it got into some higher drawdown because it was running 6 pairs. But the point in showing you this is, okay, it got in drawdown November. All right, so last year, November, it didn't fully swing and get out of that drawdown until July. But was it making money the whole time? Let's take a look at this. 95%. All the way to 140. So in the time it was just constantly in drawdown, did it make 50% gains? And the answer is yes. So again, the point of showing you this is to show you historical data. It's to show you that, yeah, these drawdown periods, they happen. And every time these happen, everyone gets all, discouraged. And then once they all swing, everyone's praising and posting all their results everywhere. So it's just a name of the game with GearBox. You just got to be prepared for it. So if you're on this call, just be prepared. Let it do what it needs to do. You might take an L every once in a while. It's okay if you have a losing month every once in a while. It's okay. You think the best financial institutions in the world win every month? You're using a software that's getting better results than some of the top public performing hedge funds in the entire world, which most of them report 55% a year. So if you're doing more than that, you are taking your wealth into your entire physical hands of your own, and you're in the utmost control. So again, just the point is, be prepared for times like that. It happens. Someone's asking about FTMO here, and I see another question. I'll answer our FTMO question in a minute. Let me answer the first ones that are simpler before we get into FTMO and I go on a rant. You mentioned a couple weeks ago that you would change the gear levels for EuroCAD. Is this done? Do I need to take anything on my VPS to take account? We will be rolling out a GearBox Manager update, possibly today, which will increase EuroCAD's entries by default +2. So if you're running swing, it's going to be running 2 gears higher than it currently is. If you're running Sniper, it's going to be 2 gears higher than it currently is. Super Sniper, same thing. We're just moving all the entries up by +2 on EuroCAD for those who do want to continue to run it. We just saw with this trending move, it needs to be done. Same with Euro NZD. I am going to also increase Euro NZD by just 1. You can manually decide to increase it by more if you'd like. I might actually make it 2 because I'm gonna mastermind on that, but I am gonna increase Euro NZD's entry as well. And CHF JPY hasn't really justified increasing its entry yet, but it had its entry increased in the past. So I'm not as worried about it, but I might increase it by 1 just because I hit a stop loss on an account. And you know, obviously stop losses are inevitable. It's gonna happen from time to time. But you know, I definitely anytime we see a loss or we see a higher drawdown, those are always going to be times where I optimize and say I'd rather potentially return less profit but have less risk than return more profit and more risk. And then it's up to the customer to decide if they want to be more risky or not. But for me, I'm always going to be a conservative person. And the reason I say this is my goal is to optimize this software so that I can run $10 million, $100 million on it. That might sound like crazy numbers to some of you on the call, but that's kind of like the goal. I want to use GearBox as my own bank account. That's what I'm already kind of doing right now, between 60 different live accounts running. But there's times where accounts get in drawdown. It's times where accounts take a loss. But I've been running this software for 1.5 years on so many different accounts. And I've been using the base strategy for 3 years, so I know where it fails. And that's why GearBox is so powerful. But again, it's really up to you on how you decide you want to use things. Now let's talk about FTMO. I really don't think it can be done, but very hands-on. And what I mean by very hands-on is there's no automated way to run GearBox on an FTMO account and have success. Also, once you pass the challenge account and you do get a live account, they change some of the rules as well. So I don't know all the details. All I know is I haven't seen anyone successfully run a GearBox on an FTMO account. Have I seen someone run a GearBox successfully on a funded account? Yes, but there were different rules, restrictions, and it wasn't quite duplicatable. What I will tell you is I have been in the process of talking to different teams that specialize in the prop firm space, and they've given, through mutual resources and connections I have, an ability to potentially set up a program that would work with GearBox. So I'm working on that. I'll keep you guys posted, because obviously my goal is if somebody can get $100, $200, $500,000 and trade it with GearBox with very conservative settings, then that's great. Now, I don't think that GearBox will ever pass a challenge account, but I think if you can get a live account that has proper restrictions in place that GearBox can make you money, then passing the challenge is the hard part. You pass the challenge, then you can deploy GearBox for the rest. If that makes sense. That'd be my opinion on funded accounts. You're not going to pass a challenge with the EA without highly aggressive, risky settings and micromanagement. But if you can get a funded account and the restrictions on the actual live account you get fit with conservative parameters of GearBox, then yeah, I think it can be done. But some of these places don't even let you use EAs. They'll shut you down too if you do get funded. So there's a lot of things you got to look at, and I've been looking at some different prop firm companies to try and build something that would work for GearBox. It's actually at one of the tops of my radar right now. I did a call on it last night. So again, keep that in mind if you are trying to use prop firms. Just I don't think there is any out there right now that really fit with GearBox, or I'd already be doing it myself instead of having calls trying to figure it out. And that's just my honest advice for you all. But with that being said, let's get into the news for the week. Let's take a look at what's going on. Let me refresh this here. We're going now from the 30th to the 6th. We're going into November. All right. So Monday, we got a red folder. We got USD, ISM manufacturing. We have AUD cash rate and RBA statements. We have NZD on Tuesday with employment change and unemployment change. We have Wednesday with ADP non-farm employment change, as well as ISM services PMI, FOMC statements, federal funds rate, and an FOMC price conference. And then Thursday, we have OPEC JMMC meetings. Wow, we got, this is a week. Honestly, I would be more conservative this week than not. There's not many weeks where I look at GearBox and I go, I'd be conservative, but there's a lot of red folder news this weekend. We have NFP on Friday, plus OPEC, plus FOMC. I mean, there's a lot of money conversations this week, and money conversations affect the value of our currencies. So GBP is, wow, just loaded. Official bank statements, monetary policy, bank rate votes, purchase facility votes. There's a lot of news coming out for GBP. Hopefully these actually will get us some great entries. I know GBP, we don't really enter trades on them too often because they have very high entries, but a week like this, you can probably count on actually getting into some trades on GBP. Canadian, hopefully this goes in our favor. And same with USD here. We got an NFP. So huge red folder news week. Huge red folders news week. I'm going to be more conservative myself in a week like this, and I'll send out notes on what I mean by that. Shortly, I'm going to analyze the market a little more and do some due diligence and send my notes out later. But if you can lower your lot size at all, I'd do it. If you can lower your balance protection at all to stop taking trades at a lower drawdown, because, I mean, even though 25% is a great spot to be, this is one of those weeks I might go 20. Even though, like, on many of my accounts, I don't even ever touch 25% drawdown. Just things I'm looking at. Actually, I wouldn't even touch the balance protection. 25 is fine, but I would lower your lot size and go a little more conservative if you can on the lot size for sure. If you're using hour 1 charts or H4 charts, I would definitely run daily charts this week because big trending moves with lower time frame charts kind of operate more like a Ferris wheel. You get out of one trade, you get right back into another going the opposite direction. Doesn't happen as much on the daily. Some people really like it on the lower time frames because they make more money, but in trending weeks, it is a riskier decision. Let me come back to the notes here. Where can we find the break-even tool again? Great question. So if you go over to your, it's going to be under what we call here indicators. All right. You go to indicators and you're going to see a few different ones. First, GearBox levels. I haven't even shown you guys this one, but essentially you would basically be able to deploy it on a chart and line up the first level. Here, I don't have any open trades, so we're not going to really see anything. But you would essentially be able to drag this white line wherever level 0 potentially would have been. Okay, so even though you're not entering level 0, you would kind of have to mathematically figure it out. And let me come into a different time frame, maybe a little lower. You can see if I put 0 here, it's going to show me where the next potential gears would open. So this also can kind of show you where your gears open. You just got to be able to line it up with where you think 0 would have been. So you might put this in the wrong spot a few times, and then you got to see if the next ones line up with your real trades. And if they do, then you can see. But you gotta move level 0. Now that's levels. Now if we go back over, you want the break-even tool. The break-even tool, let's come back over here to a lower time frame. There we go, hour time frame. The break-even tool is going to be predicted TP and SL. Now there's 2 parts to this. One is it automatically sets the break-even line, but you see 2 other bars here. This is your stop loss line and a TP line. Now, obviously, all your stop losses are a little different, right? But we're just going to put this stop loss line right there. And we're going to go to our TP line right here. And, okay, our take profit here is $434. So this trade is going to make me back what it just lost me in a stop loss. all right, I'm going to make all that back. I'm going to be at break even entirely on this trade because I did hit a stop loss, remember? Now, this break even line is to break even on the current open trades. So this does not factor in the one trade that hit stop loss already. The stop loss line is factoring in if all your open trades closed right here. So even though the other stop losses are a bit higher, because you can see right here that the stop loss is actually only $562 if this trade hits it, but you see stop loss 1474 here. That's essentially just showing you that if all these trades were closed out right here, what your loss would be. And this is showing you what your profit is on the TP. So those are some cool tools that you guys have access to. If you've never used them, they're in your indicator side between gearbox levels and predicted TP and stop loss. Brilliant guy Francesco out of the Italy team developed them, and they're amazing tools to really help somebody have some more hands-on management with their gearbox and understand their risk. But with that being said, I see some people typing questions, so I'll give you guys a minute to type some questions. I can keep answering. But so far, amazing call, a lot of great stuff. Is there some documentation on those tools I just showed? No, I've never actually made a video on them. I can do that, but I've always kept them for more advanced users. Never really made a video, but I'll make a video on them. I just know I'm going to get a lot more questions about them than as soon as people start using them. And I didn't develop them. What teams help with getting funded, you were saying? There's a lot of different companies that do funding, but like I said, none of them right now, from all the ones I've seen, really work with GearBox or really any EA for that matter. I haven't seen many successful companies that allow it, but I am in talks with a company, and as I get further along and something works out, I will keep you guys posted. But with that being said, thank you all so much for tuning into this call and spending your Friday with me, no matter what time it is in the world where you are. Like I said, I know we have people calling in from all around. I saw somebody from Estonia is in here, France, Germany, and we got people from all around the world tuning in. So again, thank you so much for being here with us, and I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your evening.